Hey guys, it's Lego Boys E3. These are my top 5 favorite Dodecahedral puzzles. So today I'm going to go over some of the cubes, or I guess puzzles you'd say, that are in a dodecahedral shape, and so that's kind of like a Megaminx. It has 12 sides, and each side has 5 sides on it, pentagon, and so these are all cubes that either have 12 sides and are a dodecahedron, or are very similar to dodecahedral puzzles, like shape mods of a Megaminx. But like the puzzle I just mentioned there, the first one up on this list is just a plain old Megaminx. And so really I don't have a ton of dodecahedral puzzles, so I just had to put this puzzle here to fill it. But really I do like Megaminx. It's a pretty fun puzzle to solve and speed solve. This Megaminx in particular is the YuHu, but that really doesn't matter. I do speed solve it, and I believe I get around 2 minutes. I'm pretty sure last time I checked, but really it's just kind of a fun challenge, and it's not too repetitive, even though getting all the pieces in is a little bit difficult and it takes a little while, but really once you get fast at it, it's kind of a fun puzzle just to solve now and then, and it really doesn't take too long. I mean, it's pretty similar to like a 5x5, probably even quicker than a 5x5 for me, and yeah, it's just a classic Megaminx puzzle, classic dodecahedron puzzle. However, there are also a lot of modifications to this puzzle, or variations to it, and so that's what's coming up next on this list. It's not a dodecahedron, it's actually a dodecahedron turned into a cube, and so like I said, I can have variations of dodecahedrons on this list. It still has 12 centers, so these are the centers, 2 on each side, and so it still has 12 sides, technically, if you look at it like a Rubik's Cube. And what this one is, like I just said, it's a Megaminx turned into a cube, and so it still has all the same pieces and everything. You see the corners are here and here, here, or the big ones right here. You have the edges in between, so like these two in between the two centers, or this one right between the two centers, this one, this one, and there's 5 coming out of each center. And so it's just like a Megaminx. It can shapeshift and do some pretty cool shapes and stuff. You see, you line up the edge piece within the center, line up the edge piece with the center, and it just turns like this. And this one is a lot more challenging to solve. I can't solve it fast. First of all, because it doesn't turn very well. The stickers also aren't that good, so the quality of the puzzle itself isn't amazing, but it's still a pretty cool cube. Really, the most annoying thing about the solve, though, is just finding all the pieces, because like there's even, when you're trying to find this piece, there's a piece that's exactly opposite of it, with green and red, the long piece. It can just be really hard to find the right pieces and put them in the right places and stuff. It's just solved like a Megaminx, but you just have to be really careful of all alignment and like orientation of the centers and stuff, and just making sure that each piece is in the exact right place and you didn't switch 2 of them around. And so that difficulty of the puzzle is both a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because a challenging puzzle is a good puzzle, and that's what a puzzle should be, challenging. However, it just kind of gets repetitive after a while, and sometimes the pieces just get really annoying to try and find and put in the right places. But it is a little bit more fun than the Megaminx when you're solving it. It's not quite so fast, and it takes a little bit longer, but it still is a pretty nice, fun puzzle, and so that's why it is on this list. Next up, we're just going to go a little bit quicker now. This is also a Megaminx shape mod. It is the Megaminx ball, and so this is also the same brand as that one. It's Calvin's puzzle, and so it's a Megaminx ball. It's just a Megaminx turned into a ball, just how it sounds. And this one is actually quite a bit easier to solve because you see all the pieces are the same shape. It doesn't shapeshift even when you do a half turn. Like a normal Megaminx like this one, technically it would shapeshift when you do that. This one, I have a half turn on it. It still stays the exact same shape no matter what you do. And so yeah, it is a little bit challenging to turn too, but really it's just kind of like a normal Megaminx, and the color recognition and everything is pretty easy. There's not weird combinations of different colors on different pieces like on the Hexaminx. And so yeah, it's a pretty fun puzzle, and it doesn't take too much longer than the normal Megaminx, but it does take a little bit longer. And it's also transparent. You see the actual pieces of the puzzle are transparent. They made a couple of limited edition versions of this cube, and this is one of them. And so if we just take it apart real quick, you see the puzzle is completely clear on the inside, which is kind of cool novelty thing too. But after that on this list is the QJ Pyraminx Crystal. And so when you first hear the name, you may think Pyraminx. This does not look like a Pyraminx, this looks more like a Megaminx Crystal. And it actually does have a good reason for being called a Pyraminx. It's actually solved very similarly to a Pyraminx. So first off, when you solve it, you put all the corners in the right place, which is pretty similar to a Megaminx. But then when you put all these edges in the right place, you see you do moves like this to move them around, which if you solved the Pyraminx before, that's very similar to how you solve a Pyraminx. And so you put all the corners in the right place like you do on a Pyraminx, you just turn all the sides. But then on a Pyraminx also, you do moves like this and move all the edges around until they're all in the right places. And this one's just really fun to solve. I don't remember exactly how to do it. The last layer is kind of difficult. You have a couple of algorithms, but I have those on my phone, so every time I want to solve it, I just do most of it normally, and then I just look on my phone and figure out how to do the last layer. I really didn't have the time ever to memorize those algorithms, but it still is a really fun puzzle. I actually got it for only like $5. Someone at a competition was selling it, and yeah, they gave me this one for $5 along with the super square star for free, because that puzzle is pretty much useless if you've seen it before. But yeah, really this puzzle is just really fun, and it combines a couple of my favorite puzzles, the Megaminx of course, and the Pyraminx, which is one of my favorite WCA puzzles, and so it's really just a nice puzzle, and it's fun to solve. Next up is another one that's pretty fun to solve, but also a little bit repetitive. If you've seen my last top 5 videos, you've probably seen this one before. It's the Shengshou Gigaminx. And this one I just like, not really just to solve. I mean, it is fun to solve, although it does get repetitive, like I said. But it's just giant. Like, look at this in my hand. It's just, like, giant. I can barely put my hands around it. This one's just a really fun puzzle. Like, just look at this. Just fun to turn around and, like, mess with and show to people. And really the solving is pretty fun, like I just said, but just the puzzle itself just makes it awesome. Really in the future I'd really like to get a puzzle that's bigger than this, like the Pyraminx or the Pyraminx, but for now this is what I have. It's a Gigaminx and it's amazing. I got it a little while ago, and really you can tell I don't really have a ton to say about it besides that it is my favorite, and that's why it's on this list. It's just so huge, and yeah, it's amazing. So that's pretty much it for this list. All the favorite dodecahedral puzzles of mine, or not so dodecahedral, but pretty similar to dodecahedral puzzles, and of course Megaminx. And if you want to buy any of these puzzles in particular, the YuHu, the Hexaminx, Megaminx Ball, Pyraminx Crystal, or Gigaminx, all those links will be in the description. I have videos about most of these puzzles, which I'll also link down in the description below. And yeah, so here are all the puzzles. If you like this video and want to see more in the future, leave a like. Also, if you want to see more in the future, leave some suggestions down in the comments below for other videos, top 5 videos that I can make like this in the future. And also stay subscribed to be notified when another video like this comes out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!